Hello everyone and welcome to game 3 now in this series between MKP and Polt. So far MKP does have a 2-0 lead in this series unless I'm casting those games out of order, and it is a best of 3 series. Alright, let's go ahead and figure out what the strategies are. Both players, no crazy tactics that I can see. As Polt on the top right hand side of the map as the red Terran, MKP spawning on the bottom left hand side of the map as the blue Terran. MKP really known for his pressure tactics, and I guess in these mirror matches he doesn't want to let them go into the late game. By not letting them go into the late game, as long as he is more practiced in his builds, in his early aggression builds, he will normally come out on top, and which we have seen in the previous games so far. Now, will Polt try to perhaps adapt his playstyle and build a barracks and tech lab on the front door and not allow for any crazy marauder pressure? Or will he give in to trying to play into MKP's own game? MKP now setting up a refinery already before barracks. Meanwhile, Polt may be trying to go for this proxy barracks once more. Only reason why I would see SCV coming all the way down over here, and it looks like it will be the case. So the barracks already being placed down, and here we go. So Cheese coming in from Polt. Meanwhile, MKP doing a much more traditional build. Now with MKP, his traditional builds, you can't even call them traditional just because most players suspect some sort of unorthodox build from him. You can see Polt and MKP pretty much have the same exact build so far. It's just been a difference in where these buildings are placed. 16 versus 15 supply. There's a slight discrepancy in terms of the minerals, but almost exactly the same gas, as we should be getting a tech lab down in just a moment. This could be that reactor Hellion opening that we saw moments ago, and all we need now is to see a factory. Yes, it will be a factory, both sides setting up that factory. Are we going to perhaps be seeing a reactor, and then perhaps some more crazy antics coming in? And are we going to see perhaps a complete front door seal? If we do see a front door seal, those Hellions will not be able to get in that much damage unless there is a starport with a medevac. That is the normal follow-up here, as we are getting and still mining more gas from Polt. So Polt, he should be able to... No, actually it looks like he's going to have to delay his starport just a little bit, as he's going to be behind on gas right as that factory completes. Meanwhile, we are going into a reactor now. The reactor coming in from MKP is a little bit delayed, as now one Marine simply just going to walk over. Now, normally the Marine could deal a lot of damage, but those SCVs will come off the mineral line in order to fight back. We are getting up a starport here. Are we getting up a second gas? No, we are not. So MKP, if he is going for Banshees, is going for the non-cloak variety, as Hellions are being added. A barracks already scouting out, and Polt really tipping his hand to his opponent, letting him know that he did proxy barracks. MKP now needs to respond and react accordingly with this, as the Hellions will be coming out to engage. There are going to be 2 Hellions up on the high ground, and for a second I thought I saw a Hellion flame. Here we go, and the Hellions are going to torch each other, and a very, very nice torch there, as the SCVs need to auto repair, and going after and taking down one of these Marines. Viking already being added, and what is that Viking really looking to do? Starport is also training up some Vikings, so this is going to be Hellion Viking wars here on Daybreak. Not your typical game at all. Barracks now being shooed away by Marines. One Viking is already out, and it's going to be engaging against that barracks as well, getting off some easy shots. 26 damage per attack. Is it going to deal another round of attack there? No, that barracks was able to land just in time, but we are going to see a Viking added here. More and more Vikings are still being added. Hellions, Polt with the superior number of Hellions takes down one very easily. Viking now goes into ground mode and going to try to clean up some of those Hellions here. A Viking going into ground mode here. So the Vikings in ground mode looking to really deal a lot of damage, as both sides fighting it out. This Viking not within range, and who's going to come out on top? Viking versus Viking. Polt needs to jump up into the air here, and now what is going to be happening next. We are going to see a Viking come off over here and a new Viking coming down over here. SCV could perhaps try to auto repair as the Vikings are engaging. Oh, Polt may come out ahead here. This could be huge. No, both sides loses their Viking. The Hellions losing as well. And what is going on in this battle? Both sides trading Vikings and Hellions. 32 versus 37 supply. Polt is slightly behind, needing to add more units. If that SCV was on auto repair, I think that would have been all the difference, keeping one Viking alive. And so far, both players just trying to get their game going. Unorthodox builds coming in from both players so far. More Marines now being added, but that Marine will quickly get taken down. Oh, one Viking down to 11 hit points. Is it going to be able to go into ground mode in time? That is the question. It looks like no, it is not going to be able to, but there is enough Hellions here to counteract the Marines and perhaps take down some of these units off over here. Hellions trying to do a little bit of a burst there, taking down more units. Marauder is now on the ground. Polt unable to land this Viking any longer, with one Marauder there acting as a little bit of support. Hellions now being added. Vikings, double Vikings against, two Vikings now going into the ground mode. Marauder going to finish off one of those very easily. Viking now going into the ground mode as well. SCV is on auto repair, unable to repair the Marauder though, as it is finishing off more units. And I believe the Hellions, are they going to be able to get away? A nice once more Starburst could do it. Is it going to be enough as the Hellions try to turn around? One Hellion turns around as the other does get away, as we now see the barracks flying and lifting off. One starport is currently up in the air. Vikings waddling like a duck, making their way over, and will be landing, or will be fighting themselves inside his opponent's base in just a second. We are sitting on 6 Hellions, but he is going to be going up against 5 Hellions, a Marauder, and a Viking, as one SCV, nope, as we are now going to see these units now make their way in. Viking now looking to push in here. Some starburst damage across multiple units. The Vikings trying to get down some damage. SCVs are taking a lot of damage here. Mule is now coming in. That is MKP's Mule. Is he going to try to auto repair? And I believe he is. No, he is just absorbing damage right now. As the Viking could get auto repaired, the Mule could repair this one Viking, and the Viking is now up in the air as the Hellions come back down. The Mule is going to be repairing this Viking, and this Viking dealing a fair amount of damage. Going to take down one Marauder. This one Viking now needs to be very careful. It cannot survive this engagement. It goes down, but I believe that is going to be simply too much, and Polt loses in 3 straight games to MKP. I don't believe we ever went beyond 75 supply. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this series.